Up next on the Ron Johnson Show, we got hockey legend Nate Prosser, former Minnesota Wild, Elk River product out of Minnesota. I mean, it's a state of hockey, of course. But Nate, as I jump into this, man, I got caught last night watching the Avalanche Blues game. When you see how close that game is, as a Minnesota Wild fan, former player, how much does that hurt a little bit knowing that, man, you know what, the Avalanche are good, but the Wild could have skated right with them the way they dominated the Blues in some of those games?
Yeah. Wild had a good skating team. There was a team that, I don't know what our record was during the regular season versus the Avs, but it looks like, they're a team that, not overly physical or overly mean. So it's a team that we would have skated with and probably would have competed with pretty well. But, I love this series right now with the Blues and the Avs. I think it's just kind of, the classic, experience versus speed.
Yeah, and 4-1. I mean,
yeah.
It was 2-0 when I was in the bar.
Yeah.
And then I saw the Avs score. I didn't see who it was. We were having some fun. It was a bachelor party. My brother-in-law he's going to be my brother-in-law when he gets married tomorrow. So we weren't really,
congrats.
So I'm down here for a wedding. So we weren't really watching it close.
Where's the wedding?
We're in Cincinnati. And so we were at I don't know the name of it, but we were at a local bar right by our hotel. My father-in-law, my soon-to-be brother-in-law, a weird one. My ex-brother-in-law, I guess you'll call it. He used to be married to my wife's older sister, divorced, but he's still a part of the family, so he's here.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting one. But yeah, we were all at the bar watching. It was like 5 TVs, so they had the Heat, Celtics on. They had the Avs, and as I'm watching, I'm like, man, okay, here come the Avs. This is the Avs everybody's talking about because they scored 2-1, and I'm like, and I've heard the goals can come in bunches.
Yeah,
and then they went bunches the other way. The Blues. The Blues, held them off. And so when I see that, I'm like, man, the way the Wild handled them. And I know the Husso versus Bennington, that's always going to be the conversation.
Yeah.
And the Wild are more physical. I think the Blues and the Wild are both two physical teams. And I think the Avs I was watching the hits. It's crazy, how I've started to watch this stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you see the hits by the Blues, and again, going back to the Wild, and Kevin Fiala, for instance, what do the Wild need to do? One, do you think Guerin's going to bring Fiala back? Does Fiala want to come back? And then what do the Wild need to do to get over that hump and end up against a team like the Avs where they probably could just outmuscle them?
Yeah, I mean, to answer the first question, I think you try to bring them back. I mean, it's hard to replace a 30-goal scorer. I mean, that they don't just fall off trees. It's something where, I'm sure Guerin's trying to do whatever he can to have him back. But he kind of disappeared in playoffs, not to, be too mean about it. But there wasn't a ton of secondary scoring. I mean, other than 97, who on the Blues is okay, we got to watch out for this guy. This is their secondary scoring line. This is the line that, kind of could take over the game when we shut down their top line. There really wasn't one. I was kind of looking at Eck and Foligno and Greenway's line to do that, but they didn't put the puck in the net that much in that series. So I think the Wild with any team, it doesn't matter what spot you get into the playoffs. It doesn't matter if you're the second wild card or the number 1 seed. It's all about just getting in and then hitting your stride at the right time. And it seems like the Wild, they were hitting their stride. And then, I don't know, the special teams kind of faded away. The goaltending situation got a little sticky. And then, like I said, the secondary scoring just kind of was lost. So, you put that all together and then you play against a team like the Blues that, all those guys have, hoisted that Stanley Cup over their head, or most of them, and they all have that experience. They're always okay, regular season's over. We were what were they, the first wild card? Oh no, they're the third seed of the division. So it's they didn't care. Okay, we're in the playoffs. It's a whole new season. We're all 0-0. We all have 0 points. Let's start fresh and let's get after these guys.
Yeah, they didn't let the home ice thing bother them. Everybody thought the Wild had the advantage with the home ice. The Blues still don't have home ice advantage, and they're finding ways to steal games. Yeah. And so, now the pressure is on the Avs, which I don't think they've had to deal with all season. Like now this is the pressure. If you go down 2-0, that's almost like a death sentence in any sport.
I know.
So Nate, let's have a fun one. So as we were coming on, you were talking about hockey and teeth, and I've seen the Mark Parrish, losing a tooth, running off set, having to go pop his tooth back in.
Yeah.
How did your teeth get knocked out? You said it was a stick, but what happened?
Yeah, it was back my first year of pro hockey. I played down in Houston for the Arrows. It was the Minnesota Wild affiliate team at the time. It was awesome. That was my favorite year of hockey. I think just being down in that weather for a year. It was just me and my wife, no kids. It was kind of like it was like college one, and we all, had a little bit of money. So it was, we would get out of the rink in shorts and flip-flops, and we'd go to Whole Foods and get grill food. And we all lived at the same complex. So we all just kind of sat by the pool and grilled out and, sat in the sun. And every day, it was literally every day we were lobsters out there. And, but where was I going? What was the question again?
The teeth. You got your teeth.
Oh, yeah,
out.
teeth. So puck was dumped into my corner. And I just remember going back, and there's like 2 forwards on me and my D partner coming in, and we were all going to fish for the puck. And, as you go for a puck, your opponent tries lifting your stick. So they try getting under your stick and lifting it before you can make a play on the puck. So I actually think it was my D partner that got his stick and accidentally smoked me in my mouth, chipped my front 4 teeth, and, cut my lip and cut my gums. I'm just like, it was a full-on yard sale, and left the game. All my 4 teeth are all mangled, and my whole career I kept asking, like, okay, what do I do? Like, do I crown these things or veneer? Or they're like, no, like that's expensive, and they'll continue to get knocked out. So let's just cap them. Let's just keep them capped for the until you're retired. So just this last couple months ago, I reached out to the dental office and was like, hey, I think it's time to, make these things look a little better. So I don't know. Hopefully they look all right. And
they look perfect.
Yeah, sweet. So,
that's the funniest thing ever, though, for people to say, like,
play.
Don't fix your teeth because you're gonna get them knocked out again.
I know. You're gonna get a puck again, or get another stick, or because like your half shield goes to here, and there's so many sticks and pucks and block shots and standing by the goalie. And I mean, I don't know how many pucks I had whizzed by my face throughout my career. It was crazy. And then just accidental high sticks, they hit my visor, and it's like literally millimeters from knocking all my teeth out again. So I mean that
so why don't players do that? Why don't you guys get the full shield?
You know what? I don't even know when that started, but at college we wear the full shield, and then once you get into pro hockey, it goes to the half, and I like the half shield a little bit better. I mean, you can always replace teeth, you can fix your nose and all that. Yeah, the only thing they always told you, just don't mess with your eyes, and that was what the half shield was good for. So, but no,
I like not wear the half shield.
If you're older, all the older guys, so like Ryan O'Reilly, he's grandfathered in, Milan Lucic. I'm trying to think. There's not a ton more, but so I think a lot of guys are realizing like the half shield is is beneficial.
That's crazy. It's fast. So what's the fastest puck? Because I put out I was me and Brandon Molesky. He was on the show, and he's a big hockey guy. He's a Wild guy with Kevin Foulness. And so I asked him, I gave him a like an ultimatum. I said, here's your choices. If you had to sit in a room with the common man for 24 hours, because we've seen the power trip bets and stuff they do where they make people do stuff for 24 hours. I was like, you either have to sit in a room, no headphones, no technology, 24 hours, and just let common man talk to you. And you can't talk back. He just gets to talk to you for 24 hours. Or let Nate Prosser stand at the blue line, not the first one because that's a little close, the second blue line, and just whiz 5 shots at you. And he was like, man, I think he hit one like 110 miles an hour off the wall. Like that was what he was known for. Like, what's the fastest you've had a puck like gauged at?
No, I think I remember back in the USHL, I made the All-Star game, and there's a skills competition.
Yep, I've
And
seen
that's
that.
when I was how old was I? Like 19, 20
Okay.
range. And they clocked our slap shots, and I think I got it to like 95 or 96.
Okay.
So no, I never got triple digits like that.
Okay.
That's
That's still
insane. I
humming
mean,
though.
yeah. I mean, if you're standing there with no equipment and I could, try picking you off from the far blue, I think I could make it hurt. Yeah.
That sounds painful because I just think about baseball players, they don't wear anything and they take 95,
Crazy.
98-mile-an-hour fastballs to the bat, to the shoulder, to the
Oh,
leg.
the wrist or
And
the
they say the
hands.
puck is frozen. So yeah, that's crazy. So last one before we get out of here. When you look at the Minnesota Wild and then state of hockey, because it's Minnesota state of hockey. So you got the Minnesota Wild. We joked about, hey, they haven't
Yeah,
won in so long. So,
you don't.
but I'm not going to do that.
You didn't like that state of hockey
I'm not gonna
mantra.
do that. I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna turn it back to Nick Saban. So Nick Saban earlier yesterday had an attitude with the recruitment of some Texas A&M players, and he said the NIL is they killed us with recruiting. They got the number one recruiting class, and he said it was all because of NIL, not because of Jimbo Fisher, not because of the program. Do you see that now being where hockey high school kids are going to start to get big money once people realize, like, wait a minute, like I can get one of the next best Sidney Crosbys before he's Sidney Crosby? Do you see the Gophers and some of these college teams, North Dakota State or not, North Dakota, and then what's the
Wisconsin.
the red and black one though, the one that's big in Minnesota?
St. Cloud State.
Minnesota State, man.
Yeah.
Do you see them getting into that NIL battle soon with some of these hockey kids across the country, and then of course the local kids in Minnesota?
I mean, I definitely see it happening. It might take a few years. I think, all these big football programs are doing it right now, and obviously they have crazy money behind it, and they have all these big sponsors, and and you're in Texas. It's like, I mean, you can call the state of hockey, but it doesn't hold a candle to what Texas is for the state of football.
Correct.
So it's like, I feel like it's eventually going to happen, but the money won't be what football is, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I think that whole NIL and recruiting and I was listening to you before, throwing guys on commercials and trying to get car deals like that will be influential for high school kids, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, there's a kid from Texas. The running back just got a Lamborghini deal with a local Lamborghini dealer in Texas.
Like,
so he's going to be driving a Lamborghini to class every week.
Yeah, unbelievable. Can you imagine the girls he's pulling in that thing?
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, do you think like Kaprizov, for instance, do you think if the University of Minnesota had approached Kaprizov and said, hey, come play for the Gophers for one season, we'll get you a Lamborghini deal, we'll get you a house deal with Lennar Holmes, like, do you think that would have been enough to get him over? I know he was a tough get anyway, but do you think that would have been an easier get than trying to clear the KHL and all that stuff just to get him to play 1 year for a Lamborghini?
For sure. I mean, especially with those guys that already are making money overseas, like the Europeans and the Russians. But it's different for kids that haven't made a dollar. I mean, I think I had even all the way through college, all the way through 24, I think I had like $2,000 in my bank account the whole time. Like I lived off like Domino's pizza and Taco Bell. So it's like if a college threw something at me to entice me to go there, I mean, it would definitely be something that your eyes are going to be, eyes and ears are going to open up a little bit more.